I'm in it now. I'm in it. I'm in it. I'm in it now. Like, I'm in it. And there ain't no getting out. I'm in it. So the things that I chose to stay out of, I'm out of them. But this, I'm in it. I'm in it now. It's like a jar or something. It's sealed up like a good whiskey or corn liquor or something that they make. Once they seal it or cork that thing, I'm in it now. It's like, I'm in it. It's like the motion of an offense in basketball. Once the ball swings or whatever, we in it now. We in it. We in it. In a football game, back in the day, if you can remember when football was played, you get into a nice little battle, you get that first little hit or whatever. We in it now, you know. They talking smack, we talking smack. We in it now. We in it. Inside of this globe, this world, the way it functions, it circles, we in it. 1919, they had a pandemic, man. It was people was wearing a mask like the way we wear masks nowadays. They was in it. 100 years later, we back in it. So is it possible in the year 3020 they'll be wearing masks? We in it. What does history say? History mentions the Rolling 20s. The Rolling 20s, there was people who had money, they was doing things. They came out of that pandemic in 1919, and then people started rolling, started getting money, business was booming, stock market and all that type of stuff. People buying the new cars and stuff. Nightclubs and sugar shacks and things where they dancing, cutting the rug up. People looking beautiful, wearing nice outfits. They was in it. So if history is going to repeat itself, and it started 1990s or whatever, I'm sure it happened in the 1800s as well, around the turn of the 1800s probably, and the turn of the 1900s, pandemic. Now we got 2020, this part, pandemic. So are the rolling 20s about to come back? History says it is, so embrace it. Be ready, because there's about to be a real harvest of replenishing. And people are going to start making money hand over fist. I just did the last video, said that I turned down $1 million, but I'm getting ready to open my hands and mind up to a lot more. And you the same way. If you just believe, going from the natural to the supernatural. So, but let me warn you this, and I'm going to be finished. After the rolling 20s, where people had their money and made their money, stock market crashed in the 30s. So there was a 10-year period where things ran well. Possibly in the beginning of 2021, things will start flowing. People will start prospering and start making money. And things is going to start looking good. Movers and shakers, things is going to happen. But we got to be aware of history, because you got to pay attention. The 30s becomes the Depression. 1930s was the Depression. So you got the mask with the pandemic, with the late 1919, or the early 1919. So now you got 2000 and early 2020 or whatever. 2019, they said technically, I guess, this stuff started. Was that October where the cruise or whatever they had, and the people was stuck on there for like 2 weeks, and they want to call it like it came from Asia somewhere, and we find out that this is a pandemic, and boom, now we in it. So at some point, boom, again, we're gonna recap real quick. 1919, they got a photograph of people wearing a mask like they do now. So 2000 1920s, I know for a fact, was the rolling 20s. People was booming, buying cars, houses, sugar shacks and things like that, drinking, making money, entrepreneurism. But the 30s hit, the crash market, the stock market crashed, money went down the drain, people have their bowls and stuff like that, trying to find something to eat. So when the 20s hit and we boom, y'all better save some money. Better save some money. So my question becomes again, in the year 3019, will it be a pandemic? Will they need their mask? Will the rolling 20s pop up again for 3020? Will the depression hit again? Is this just a cycle? Vicious in the eyes of many, not mine, because I've seen how we fight for pennies. But anyway, so this is just my thoughts. You ain't got to write them down. It's just my own prophecy, looking at the way it's been so far. So if is it prophecy or if it's just me being pathetic, either way, pay attention. Love y'all.